They want you to study it, and then you have to regurgitate that back to them the next day. And they put some mistakes in the installation, and Shedeur didn't catch the mistake. And then, which in turn, he got defensive and talked about, well, maybe I'm not your guy. I do believe that Joe Flacco could start the season. He is a mentor to Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur. I believe both of them will be there. One of the rookie quarterbacks will take over.
Is there any part of him as a businessman, as a football guy that believes this is good for his team, or does he think he can outcoach it? What's he going to have to do?
Win, man. Win. Come on. Yes, absolutely. I mean, if he's in love with her, wants to marry her and everything, I guess that's a different story. But, Shawn, I'm going to take you back to that early morning when Bill Belichick was disheveled leaving that ring camera. Bill Belichick, just like any red-blooded other American man. Stop thinking about him intellectually being way up here. I'm going to start be like, he's right down here with us, bro.
All right, guys, welcome to episode number 50, fully loaded. Cris Carter, Shawn, Meaike. How you doing, man?
Very good. 50 is a good number because actually that was a goal when we first started, right?
Yes, it was.
We had to do at least 50.
Yes, it was. Well, no, what you said to me was most of them don't make it 50.
Yes, I had looked up the numbers and everything.
You come back, you're like, hey, bro, if we make 50, we're doing all right, because most people quit. And it ain't easy. And you got an idea, and you're 5 weeks into it, you're like, bro, ain't nobody watching, ain't nothing happening. So we're on to 50, and we'll continue to keep rolling, so on to 500. But I appreciate you, man. Thanks for everything you do. All right, so we are going to start today with something that's been intriguing to me, and I want your opinion on it. So I grew up in Connecticut. So obviously I'm a big Patriots observer. I don't say it is what it is, but I've been intrigued by what Bill Belichick was able to do and has been able to do. And anytime I hear him talk about football, I'm like, shit, that's really good. His insight is really, really, really good. But I want to talk about what's going on with him, UNC, his girlfriend. I'm going to read a couple things to you, and I want your opinion. So UNC reportedly, I don't know that they banned his girlfriend from the football facilities, although they're denying that at this point in time. She's no longer permitted at Tarfield football facilities, reports Pablo Torre. A few hours after his report.
Very credible guy, though.
Okay, good. So credible dude. Thank you.
He's worked at ESPN previously.
He ain't some guy out there just spitting stupid shit. He's a credible dude.
Yes.
Okay. So while Jordan Hudson is not an employee at the university, this is from UNC, or Carolina Athletics, she is welcome to the football facilities, the university said. Jordan will continue to manage all activities related to Coach Belichick's personal brand outside of his responsibilities for Carolina football and the university, which sounds like she can still hang around and do his branding stuff, but please stay away from the football stuff. That would be cool. Outside of that, as a former New England Patriots, Belichick's, and then it talks about a few people like Julian Edelman had a very interesting, and I've seen some of the clips of his podcast, but he said it's quite something to see a longtime head coach creating off-field distractions for his team. Because his mantra when we played there was, dude, whatever happens outside the facility cannot be, we can't have no attention here on this. It's the game's hard enough, on and on and on and on. What is your take on what's going on with Belichick, his girlfriend? I watched the interview. When she jumped in, was like, yo, we're not talking about that. Kind of grabbed him and put him in his place.
Yes.
What is your take on all this, being a football Hall of Famer and a guy that knows Belichick?
Well, first of all, I know that the Bill Belichick that we saw in all the interview process that he would do in New England, because the one thing that used to get me upset is, and he's a football genius. And people aren't just asking him questions just to be doing things, because sometimes you hear reporters, especially during the week, ask him about the opposition or a player on the opposition. And he will go through an essay on that player. I mean, a special teams player, a kicker, or someone you'll be like random, you'll be like, wow, he has that type of information on every subject of football. And he chooses to act like a dumb A. He chooses to not give a lot of information in those things. And for me, as a student of the game and someone who would love to learn even more about the game, that part right there was always a little disturbing to me, because he didn't have to be that way.
Because he was just intentionally a pain in the ass.
He was intentionally, and I can understand not giving injury report information, but there were so many real football subject things.
Correct.
And guess what? When he got on whatever, HBO, Showtime, whatever that show was, you could see, wow.
No shit.
Man, this guy is an encyclopedia of information, offense and defense and the history of the game and the players and different styles. So I've always had that about him. Now, at this stage of his life, see, I really know how he is as a coach, and I know how the former players feel about him, that even though, yes, we did sacrifice, there are not a lot of players that love playing for Bill Belichick.
They didn't love it?
No.
Okay.
And you can see that in his retirement. You can see that with the Tom Brady roast. You can see that how him and Tom's relationship fell apart based on control there in New England. But at this stage, when you're really talking about football and love, like every person has the right to find love.
100%.
You know, I'm in my second marriage. Man, I'm so much happier than any other point in my life. And I can understand that. But I do believe that the public has a problem with the perception of a 70-year-old man with a 24-year-old young lady. And then now he's on a college campus.
Correct.
So that is not a great look for a college campus look as far as he's probably – well, no, I know he's the highest paid employee of the university. So now they have to – the board of trustees, everybody, they have to answer to that. Now he's carousing around – with a young lady he's not married to, and then she's making decisions that affect their brand.
Correct.
Which is not that. That Tar Heel brand is not that. You know, so I think that, you know, they're looking in their rearview mirror now, and they wish they could adjust that. But anytime you have to release a statement that says someone is welcome,
they ain't welcome.
And it lets you know Bill Belichick put his foot down.
Yep.
He put his foot down to make them make that release of that statement.
Do you think that he believes, because he's been very intentional, his apparently, like professionally been very intentional, even when he wouldn't give information out, do you think he really believes, is he just so enamored with the situation, is he believes she's the best for his personal brand and she's going to help him go wherever the hell he thinks? Is there any part of him as a businessman, as a football guy that believes this is good for his team, or does he think he can outcoach it?
I think thinks he can coach around this.
Okay.
But, Shawn, I'm going to take you back to that early morning, like 6 a.m. when Bill Belichick was disheveled, leaving that Ring camera caught him. Guess what, Bill Belichick, just like any red-blooded other American man. Okay? So I'm going to stop thinking about him intellectually being way up here. I'm going to start be like, he's right down here with us, bro.
Everybody else. He's with everybody else. He's with all of us. Exactly.
You know what he's thinking about.
Yeah.
I mean, at this stage of his life, what else could he be thinking about? You know, so it's a tough look. It's a tough sell. And I'm not shocked that those close to him, that they aren't shocked and somewhat appalled by his overall behavior and the way he's treated, say, the last 6 months, 9 months.
For me, what's confusing is being such an unbelievable figure in the game of football forever, people tend to remember what you did last. They tend to keep a hold of what you're as good as your last play, call, year, and it's hard because I think this UNC thing is going to be, it's hard enough. I think that if I've never one time in my life in any sport I played matter of fact, I had a guy one day I was in business with, and his guy was in charge, and one day out of the blue, his wife come in and start yelling at everybody. And the guy looked at me and he said, you ever have any coach's wife come in the locker room and cuss you out? I said, no, sir. He said, I ain't putting up with that shit here either.
Right.
Like, I play for him. I'm not. It's not about male. If my woman, if she was the coach, fine.
Right.
But he's the coach. Why is she screaming at us? And to watch that interview, I was like literally cringing.
It's like me and one of my brothers, Jeff, we're in business together. But we also tell each other privately, we're not in business with each other's wife. If something happens to you, I'm going to take care of your wife and everything, but I'm not going to be in business with her. If something happens to me, take care of my wife, but you're not going to have to be in business with her.
She ain't making decisions I would have made because I'm not here.
Yes.
So do you think this is going to be a tough deal for him at UNC? Like, what's he going to have to do?
Win, man.
Winning forgives everything goes
away.
Win. Right?
Come on. Yes, absolutely. Winning.
The kid, didn't they? A lot of guys have transferred out.
Yes, and they brought a lot of transfers in. They got some money. They're spending they got some money and stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
But you had said a while ago, man, it's going to be hard for him because of the pro level, like you just talked about. He didn't build those relationships with his players. They won, but at the college level, it's just going to be different if he can't build.
It's transactional, and he's not a transactional person.
Correct.
You know, to me, does his mojo work where he can take your worn-out tires off your car? Because that's what he wasn't a draft thing. They got lucky on Brady, but most of his draft picks are not great picks. It's his retread. I can take your old tires, retread them, put them on my vehicle, and the way we're going to play the game is we're going to win more that way. Very, very conservative, but we're going to win more that way. How can he do that in the portal? How can he do that with NIL? How can he do that with all this other attention? Because also parents are watching this. So when you have someone who's supposed to be respectable, all this thing, he comes and sits in your living room and says, I'm going to take care of your son. They know that. They see the optics. They can't even ask the question about the young lady that he's dating, but everyone's thinking about it. It's the elephant in the room, but none of the recruits can talk about it. None of the parents can talk about it. But trust me, if your decision is between, I'm going to go between Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney, and or North Carolina and Bill Belichick, like you're trusting your kid, like, oh man, I'm going to Georgia, bro. I'm going to Clemson. Like the margin for winning these families and kids is like this. I wouldn't bring anything else into the ointment. I mean, if he's in love with her, wants to marry her and everything, I guess that's a different story. But to think that a plus 70-year-old coach has a 24-year-old girlfriend who is partially running the football program and him at North Carolina.
Running around out in the middle of the field.
I mean, man.
Could you imagine Belichick back in the day in the Patriots and Tom Brady's wife wanting to be at practice, walking around at midfield talking shit?
Oh, no, absolutely not. He would have never stood for
you.
No. I mean, Tom Brady couldn't even have his trainer working for the team.
The dude that was trying to help him become better.
The guy that was saving the history.
He did not like it.
Yes.
Because it wasn't his deal. He wasn't in charge. Yes. All right, so Brady. Brady is affiliated equity ownership like of the Raiders. The Raiders passed on Shedeur a bunch of times. I don't know that I've agree with Skip Bayless a lot, but he had made a comment about Brady to say he didn't have an input on Shedeur and them drafting him seems really freaking odd, or it seems to be a lie. Me, if I own any part of a team and I'm thinking about drafting any wide receiver, and you own part of the team too, if you're a consultant, if you're here, whatever it is, there's zero chance I'm not asking Cris Carter, hey, bro, what you think about that guy?
Forget the wide receiver, any football player.
Anybody. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. Any punter, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend you. Any football player. But I'm 100% sure that there's no chance. But, I mean, I'm just like, I agree with you.
Let me tell you something, Joe Rockhead. Just stop for a second. Just stop. Just stop this, okay? If you buy a team, you and your friends, bruh, you are like, hey, Chris, how the cars park? Because I know how you run your stuff. Hey, Chris, what do you think about this? Hey, Chris, what do you think about
this? That's why I've been doing all of it.
So to think that Tom Brady put his hard-earned $100 million, whatever it was, $200 million, $50 million, $25 million, into the deal, and they need a quarterback, and he didn't evaluate the quarterbacks, especially someone that he said that he was a mentor to.
Correct.
So this is not like some random kid, hey, what about the
some dude you've never seen. He's in Oshkosh, whatever. I've never heard of it.
Let's go with the little lefty for Oregon who ended up getting drafted by.
I don't know.
They had no connection.
Correct. I don't know him.
I don't know him. Didn't have no connection. But you have gone on the record of saying you guys have a relationship. And actually, there was a three-way conversation I saw, like a Zoom cast or something with Brady, Dion, and Shedeur. And Dion asked Tom, what do you think about driving a Rolls Royce? And I think Dion said the wrong car, and Shedeur corrected him, gave him the right whatever. I think you said a Bentley, and then he said, no, it's a Rolls Royce. And Tom Brady said, I would get my ass in the effing film room. That's what I would be concerned about, being in the film room, how much football. So it's not like he hadn't had some type of input before. and then this being the ultimate evaluation and Tom being the ultimate quarterback, I was wondering why Shedeur didn't sit down with Tom and why Deion and them didn't do that. Do like a John Gruden type thing. So to me, maybe the relationship is not as as you would think. But for Tom Brady not to comment on a quarterback.
So why lie about it?
I think sometimes people want to make themselves look better than what they are.
But you look worse because nobody that has any remote intelligence believes that they didn't ask the GOAT about a guy they're drafting, especially a quarterback and a team he has a vested financial interest in.
And even if he said, you know something, because of my contract with TV, because of personal relationship, that would have made more sense.
I could have bought that, but I can't buy
that. And then even though that's manufactured.
But I'm still okay.
But we'll buy it.
Correct. I have to buy it because you threw it at me.
It's a plan.
As opposed to, no, they didn't ask me none. Ain't nobody asked me nothing. I just walk around the place. Nobody asked me shit. They draft people. Every time they were going to draft a quarterback, ain't nobody asked Tom Brady about
Greatest human
Shedeur.
to ever touch a football.
What's that?
Greatest human to ever touch a football.
And we're not going to ask him.
And I'm getting ready to make a decision.
Correct. Well, that's the thing. I think you look foolish for not just saying, hey, bro, again.
Now, I will give them this. I'll give them one out. When they hired Pete Carroll has a history with Geno Smith. When they traded for Geno Smith as an organization, they could have been like, this is shut down. Geno is seasoned enough but young enough that we don't need to look for a quarterback of the future right now. So that might have been.
So why not say that? We love Geno. But even if you give him that out.
I've been doing TV a little longer than him. But
I know, but I hear you. But it's like, God, bro, it wasn't that complicated.
To me, it could have been as simple as that. Pete Carroll has his guy.
We were good.
Because Pete Carroll will ask Tom Brady to be a part, but Pete Carroll is not.
He's in charge.
Yes.
He's in charge.
Yes.
Or to say, hey, Shedeur as a backup, Shedeur wants to play. We ain't bringing him in. Geno's not on his last 1 or 2 years.
Right.
So for us, wasn't a good fit.
We are happy with our quarterback room.
Correct.
Because that's a legitimate answer,
Instead of, nobody asked me nothing. Nobody even talked to me. I don't provide any input in any of that shit. It just looks real stupid. So, all right. So, and we were talking about, you had said the Giants had released Jackson Dart's interview. Matter of fact, you said I should watch it. You said it's really good. And then I was talking about you when they interviewed you, and you're like, man, the Eagles did me. Tell us what happened when they were interviewing you pre-draft.
Well, the Eagles, not pre-draft, because I was in the supplemental draft.
Okay.
So it was a rush situation. The season had already started. We had this conflict as far as me signing with the sports agent.
Yeah, sorry.
So I was ruled ineligible in the summer, and then which in turn they had to have a special draft, which they had, but the season had started.
Okay.
So the Eagles draft me in the 4th round. So immediately I got to get my contract done. They've already played one game and get to Philadelphia. So within the first 2 weeks, the video director and your coach tells you, hey, there's going to be clips in your locker or on your stool after practice.
Okay.
So you can watch practice or watch the clips of the team we're playing. I think we were playing Washington. And so I took the clips home. I got the film. I put it in my car, put it in the front seat, right with my playbook, got home, left them right in the front seat with my playbook, went in, did my thing, came back in the morning.
Left in the car.
Next day came, turned my video in. Then when we were watching film, the coach asked me a question. And I was like, man, that's a random question. And he asked me about, did I see the truck? And I was like, no, what truck? And the video director, about halfway through the script, had put an Oscar Mayer wiener truck that comes to practice.
That's great.
He takes a picture of it, video of it, and inserts it in the tape. And about halfway there, it's a test.
To see if you watch tape.
To see if you watch the tape. Guy asked me, Oscar Mayer. I said, no, I didn't see it. Man, I was so embarrassed. And, I'm coming from Ohio State. I was used to watching tape. I was used to studying. I was that kind of guy. But, man, it taught me a very, very valuable lesson about the NFL and how important and all the people, how they can help you be the best version of yourself. And I think the video director guy was named Doc. And I mean, he gave me a stern lashing and using as an example, a teaching point to be like, this video and watching this video is very, very important. So, man, I mean, I immediately got a great lesson, my early stage, my first month in the NFL, as far as what to do and what not to do. But the Jackson Dart video and the Giants over the last several years, from all the quarterbacks they've interviewed, they all say that they give you like an installation. They want you to study it, and then you have to regurgitate that back to them the next day. And they put some mistakes in the installation, and Shedeur didn't catch the mistakes. And then, which in turn, he got defensive and talked about, well, maybe I'm not your guy. So this video and people talking about these interviews, they're so important. And that was something that he did not do a great job, was not a great reflection of really his overall personality and his love for the game.
Do you know what's funny? I said this last time we talked. It's like the movie Damn Draft Day. And I'm like, they did some research on that because that movie, I was watching it the other day after we got done talking about it. And I was like, the first time I watched the movie, I'm like, dude, would never do stupid shit like that to see if they catch people doing stupid shit or not watching shit. And they put like the money in the book and the playbook, the $100. He's like, the only kid that ever returned it was this kid. And you're like, they really do stupid shit like that to test you? And I'm like, they obviously do.
I mean, because they're making such a huge investment.
Yeah, man.
That why wouldn't you do this type of research? My thing is, I try to always tell NFL owners that this is the only business that you are involved in that you don't know the people. All the other businesses that they've made money in,
100%.
They know all the
100%.
people. They know what they do. They know what their characteristics. In this one, they're making a bigger investment because none of their employees are making this kind of money. And they don't know the people downstairs as well as they should know them. And that's why, and Meaike repeated this on the draft, the NFL is legendary the last 40 years. They make more mistakes on quarterbacks than any other position. Now, he was very upset about Shedeur slipping and him being his number one quarterback.
And Meaike was right a lot.
He's the best that's ever done it.
I'm just saying.
I mean, he's the best that's ever done it. And he was very, very upset because he has tried to be nice to the NFL. They butcher this quarterback thing all the time.
Why?
Because they add a lot of stuff, and there's so many things about a quarterback NFL that he has to do that we don't know that they won't ever know. But they try to act as if they do know, and every draft status, the quarterbacks are elevated because of the priority on the position. The guy should be a 4th or 5th rounder. They take him in the 2nd. The guy should be a 3rd rounder. They take him in the top of the 2nd, bottom of the 1st. The guy should be a 2nd rounder. They take him in the 1st. Because the pressure, the priority to be able to get that guy has forced them into making year after year after year, mistake after mistake after mistake.
What position are they the best at? One they get right more often than not. O-line, defensive back, wide receiver,
running back. Natural instincts. It's not something you teach. It's what a kid has, is vision, explosion, ability to be able to break tackles. And you see guys in the draft, 6th rounders, 5th rounders, 4th round, 3rd rounder, great running backs. Great running backs. I think running backs are one of the most natural positions. I think that also at center, I think they do a good job at center because it's a hard position. I think they do a good job at tight end because it's a limited number. It's hard to mess it up. And the guys that stand out. Brock Ewers, these guys, they're beast. Like they stand out over the competition. So I think those 3 positions, they do a better job. I think they do a good job at linebacker because they know what they want. They want guys that can run and thump now and play some pass coverage. So those are the positions I think they do a good job. But historically, as Meaike said, disastrous at quarterback.
Well, staying with quarterback, Derek Carr's retiring. 11 seasons, announced retirement. Had a shoulder injury that he's been dealing with. And so now they got to figure out who's going to start there. Is it going to be this kid, Tyler? Is it Show? Has this kid got a chance to start for the Saints, or who's going to be the starter opening day?
That's Coach Kitley's guy, man.
So you're saying he's going to be then?
No, they drafted him in the 2nd round.
Okay.
Coach Kitley coached him up at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
He transferred his last season to Louisville. But, yes, big, strong kid, can throw the ball. A little bit older. I think he's 24, 25 now.
Okay.
But, yes, got good training. You see the numbers from college, man. He put up some good numbers. Big, strong kid, especially in that division, too. You're going against Carolina, going against Atlanta, going against Tampa Bay. You know, Saints have had a good defense. Give them some time to learn. You know, they got good wide receiving core. Kamara, the running back, good running back. So, yes, look for him to be the opening day starter. Look for him to get his career off, but they got to help him. They got to support him.
But they're not going to go pick anybody else up. Try to trade for anybody. They're good with him. How about Aaron Rodgers? Where he can end up?
Man, I don't even think Aaron knows.
You don't know?
I don't think he knows.
Because people don't want. He don't have no. Why? What is happening here?
He's just a weird dude. I think he's going to end up in Pittsburgh.
I agree, he's a weird dude. Why so long though? What's the difference between today?
I don't think.
I get after the draft. I get what you said. You want to see who they drafted. He didn't want some young stud behind him that everybody's gonna be talking about. I get that because he'd be doing more Hiya Scatha Watha. He'd be freaked out about it. But now the draft's over. What's he waiting for?
Sometimes. Sometimes, even though you're single, I'm single and I want to mingle. Sometimes, as you get older, you don't have as many people wanting to mingle with you.
So he ain't got a lot of people looking.
And once you leave your franchise, and his franchise was the Packers.
Yeah.
A lot of that intel that was in-house, it starts to get out. So, yeah, granted, the first year he tore his Achilles. But in that second season, we saw, man, the dude couldn't move. Mm-hmm. Then we saw some of the things from the locker room, some of his demands, some of his interviews and everything. So it's like, this mythical creature, Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, then other people start to hear about it. And it's like, do you really, really want that in your organization? So there's only a couple places he can play or retire. And now it's either Pittsburgh, wait and see if someone gets hurt, or retire. And this is Aaron Rodgers, 4-time MVP, man. Like, he's running out of options.
Is there a chance he's done?
Yes, there's a chance he's done. Yes, absolutely.
What would you, if you were betting, man, would you think?
I say he plays in Pittsburgh.
You do?
I think he wants
one
to play.
more year?
Yes.
Okay. Will they be a decent team? Will they be a playoff team?
Well, I don't think a playoff team. I think when you see that they, traded Pickens, but I think that when they traded for DK Metcalf, they told Pickens his time there was limited. Because I'm not going to give you $30 million. I just gave DK Metcalf $30 million. That's a better risky proposition than giving you $30 million with your inconsistent play over 3 years. Mm-hmm. So I think that he was marginalized when DK got traded for. And having both of them there with Aaron Rodgers is totally unrealistic. But I do believe Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to love DK Metcalf.
How do you think Pickens is going to do?
In Dallas, his last season, he's going to be on his best behavior. I don't think he's a bad guy. Mm-hmm. I just think sometimes lack of maturity and consistency, and his game is inconsistent. His releases are inconsistent. His ability to get open on a regular basis is inconsistent. His body language on the field is poor.
But talent-wise,
he's a big-time talent.
Yeah. And
he's not a bad guy. Mm-hmm. It's just called maturity.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be paid $30 million, you need to be a little more consistent and a little more mature than you show.
There'll be no pressure in Dallas because they suck and they won't win and they won't make the playoffs.
Their offense is not going to suck. Like, him and Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, they're going to put up some numbers. So we're not talking about –
You think they're making the playoffs?
Timeout. We're not talking about Dallas and their future, is it bright? We were talking about Bruce Pickens.
You're right.
And they're going to put up some numbers. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he had 1,300 yards.
But I'm saying there'll be no pressure because nobody in Dallas cares if the Dallas Cowboys win.
Well, let me put a bookmark there. They're the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to be they're a train wreck. People are going to talk about them. So I'm not going to say people aren't going to care because people would have to get amnesia. Based on last season, based on the season after that, based on the last 20 seasons, based on the last 30 seasons.
They're professional amnesia receivers, the Dallas Cowboys fans, every year.
The Cowboys needed another receiver. They have one.
Yeah.
And he's playing with the best quarterback he's ever played with in Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. So they will be able to throw the ball. They got a good tight end. Mm-hmm. They will be able to throw the ball. Are they a playoff team? I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Are they as good as the Washington Commanders? No. Are they as good as the Philadelphia Eagles? No.
At least they're better than the Giants.
Well, I mean, you and I are better than the Giants. Let's suit it up, man. Let's strap it up.
I'm ready to go, bro.
Give me like 3 T3s and I'll be ready.
There you go, bro. All right. So the dumbest thing I've read, did you see the guy you see John Doe of Georgia that filed a lawsuit against the NFL? Did you see this?
No.
One fan is suing the NFL for $100 million.
Okay.
He alleges that he suffered severe emotional distress and trauma watching Shedeur Sanders drop to the final day of the draft. In a lawsuit filed this week, John Doe of Georgia says NFL teams colluded to influence the drafting process of Sanders through reports and leaked statements suggested Sanders tanked interviews, wasn't prepared, was too cocky. Plaintiff alleges the NFL violated Sanders' rights as a player by making decisions that may have been influenced by racial discrimination. The league may be engaged in unfair practices by misrepresenting the nature of the drafting process and qualifications of players. The lawsuit goes on and on and on and on and on. He's a dedicated Colorado fan. He's witnessed firsthand Sanders' exceptional talent potential. So when he went to the TCU game. So he's got the Civil Rights Act and all these other things in there. So he's looking for $100 million. What do you think about that?
Well, the guy that's going to get $100 million is the guy that has a great story, and he's been robbed in this whole thing. His name is Cam Ward. And by the way, I don't know what kind of glasses that guy has, but I just got a new prescription. He can use my eyeglasses. Cam Ward happens to be African American. And if you look at this whole draft and everything, Cam Ward and 0 stars, man. High school. He goes to this college, man, no one knows of. Then he transfers to Washington State. Then he transfers again to Miami. And now he's the number 1 pick in the draft. And just by the way, because I'm not a black and white guy, he's black.
He is definitely black. Yep.
He's black. And when we start opening day, this year in the NFL, 2025, we got 32 teams. There's probably going to be 16 to 18 African Americans starting at quarterback.
Correct.
So as we start this $100 million lawsuit, let me tell you what the backdrop looks like.
Yeah. It doesn't bear witness to your allegation of your discrimination, correct?
Yes.
Interesting to find somebody to file a lawsuit for you for $100 million. He was definitely emotionally distressed. He wants $100 million. So, all right, stay with the Browns. Is Joe Flacco going to quarterback that team? Is he going to be the starting quarterback? Is he going to be the starting quarterback?
I do believe that Joe Flacco could start the season and continue on the roster because I believe he is a great mentor to these other 2 quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur. I believe both of them will be there. It's hard to have 2 rookies on the roster, but Joe Flacco has the temperament and the talent, and he's been successful in Stefanski's offense there in Cleveland. So I think Joe Flacco, yes, will start the season, but I do believe that one of the rookie quarterbacks will take over.
Do you think that one of those kids gets traded? Shedeur ends up being a starter or being the back. You think Gabriel? You think one of those guys?
I do believe that there will be a trade market for one of them, and I do believe that is one of the moves that they could make. Is to move one of the quarterbacks. Also, you could do what Washington did when they had RG3 and Kirk Cousins. They kept them both. Figured one of them was going to get hurt, one of them without for, and RG3 got hurt. And Kirk Cousins ended up having a longer career than RG3.
Well, I think Shedeur going to be the starter there, but we'll see what happens there. Bronny James.
So do I.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Bronny James wants LeBron to continue playing in the NBA.
Yep.
20-year-old told Fox Sports he would like his father to continue to play. Yeah, for sure. However long he can come back for, it's always a pleasure being around him. He's locked in. The stuff he does for his body and the preparation and stuff like that, I want him to take full advantage of it. No one other than himself. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with LeBron. LeBron's going to play next year, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
He can't end after because he can still play and he can still ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's all NBA, man.
I know.
Like he's going to be on the 2, I think, second or third team all NBA.
Everybody talked about Brady and how much he did for his body and obviously I was looking at the clip the other day, him run the 40 I'm assuming it was a combine. And I was like, dude, I always thought people were joking about the way he looked because I never remember it. I thought they were joking about how he looked at Michigan because I don't remember seeing him at Michigan. and you look at what he looks like today and how much time he's put in, money, sacrifice into his body, LeBron's got, look at the way the dude looks. He's doing the same shit.
Yep.
What makes guys, because you start looking at a lot of these guys, and I'm like, damn, how much longer can you play? If you're blessed, too, and you stay healthy. Obviously, it does help that you're in that.
Yeah.
But what people don't understand as a pro athlete, how many hours a week you think guys like LeBron or Tom in their 40s are putting into doing the shit that nobody wants to do?
Right. I played in NFL when I was 37.
Okay. That was your last year?
My last year.
Okay.
37 years old. So, and I think LeBron is really the conversation because I think what he is doing is the hardest thing I've ever seen in sports, and be able to play in his prime for actually 20 years.
Yeah.
And to be all NBA at this stage, it's ridiculous. And the people that want to talk about his greatness and is he the GOAT, these are the things they should be talking about.
Correct.
Because at this advanced age to be able to do that. Now, being an NFL quarterback and Brady, there's other guys that played that long. They just didn't play that good.
Correct.
And LeBron has no protection in the NBA. Like, you got to play offense and you got to play defense. In the NFL, you're a quarterback, you get some protection.
Yeah, from everything.
You got everything.
They can't touch you.
And I'm not trying to poo-poo the feet. I'm just trying to – we can't compare Brady and LeBron like they're both the same.
Correct.
Like they're in the stratosphere as far as their ability to stay focused, locked in, and create this new level for superstars because they created this. It wasn't there before they got there. But what LeBron is doing, to me, is superior than any other athlete, and to be able to maintain that and the focus and how consistent you have to be on a daily basis, it's really, really remarkable. It's remarkable to be able to see what he's doing and to do it at this level. And we should really give him credit for that. And I know people, you just get so far, people like, what else can we say about him? We should be talking about how he is stretching science to allow him to continue in his prime longer than any human being we've seen.
Well, it's like you had said. I think you said when I was done playing, you said you went where? You drove into some drive-thru to eat what?
The Wendy's.
Man,
give me a triple, bro.
Correct, but like all those years.
With everything and a frosting.
Eating the same thing.
Yeah.
Over.
Measuring your poop. Looking in the stool. Hey, man, is it floating? Oh, man, my stomach, I'm a little gassy. Yeah. I'm writing down all these things. I'm sending it to my doctor in Miami. Then she's telling me, okay, adjust this. You need less peanut oil. Like, man, it's amazing.
And what these guys do, what LeBron must be doing, the science behind what he's doing.
Absolutely.
I can't even imagine the shit they're doing.
And they have every resource available to them, and they have pushed the measure as far as human can push it to maximize not only their athletic ability, but the window, to expand the window. Tom Brady had 2 Hall of Fame NFL careers. And he was able to do that through the science and through sleeping, eating, and hydration.
Yeah.
Yes. Those things they have maximized
addicted,
who they could be.
Addicted to it.
Yes.
Addicted to your craft. Addicted to getting better.
Yes.
All right. The NBA. So the Pacers are up 3-1. Pacers were up. They were up 48 last night?
Yes.
48 or something.
Yes.
That was nasty. All right. Pacers are going to win that series, right? You don't believe for a second the Cavs are going to win 3 games in a row. Cavs
are hurt, and Cavs are a little overrated.
They are definitely overrated. Celtics down 2-1. I like the Knicks to win that series. You still love the Celtics?
I like the Celtics to come back and win the series.
Okay.
They're going to drop the hammer on them tonight.
Okay.
Tatum and Brown still aren't playing well. Both of them shooting less than 30% from the three-point range. They will get hot. The others won game number 3, crushed that large crowd there at the Garden on Saturday afternoon. I mean, my goodness, man, they took it through them.
They did.
So Boston, I believe that this is a legendary group, Joe Mazzulla coaching them. And, I do believe that they're going to repeat as NBA champs.
I like Brunson a lot. I like watching him play, and I'm pulling for the Knicks. And I don't like the Celtics. I don't even fucking know why. But anyway, I like the Pacers kicking the crap out of the Cavs. And I hope that the kid comes back. I don't know how long he's going to be out.
Steph Curry?
No, Steph Curry. The Cavs.
Mitchell, Donovan.
Mitchell looks like a running back playing guard. Mitchell, he went out last night.
I mean, he was the only healthy starter that they've had throughout the series, and then he gets nicked, tries to come out at halftime, can't continue, but they're going to need. They're going to need a LeBron type performance.
Yeah, they got my guy from the Heat
because they got two other starters.
Max Strus starting. They got Strus starting. They need some help from Mitchell. All right, Oklahoma City tied 2-2 with the Nuggets. You like Oklahoma City to win that?
I mean, if you look at even Denver, they fired their coach last month.
I know.
I mean, late in the season and making this for him, dude. Because they got the best player in Jokic, but
who's not playing great.
But defensively, what OKC is doing is special. They're a special defensive team. If you look at the top 8 categories in defense, who's number 1 in those categories? OKC. Hartenstein's done a good job
deep
on them.
As shit.
Yes.
They just keep running dudes at you.
Young.
Denver's running like 6-7 guys.
Yep.
And they're like 12 deep. How do you keep up with 12 young dudes?
You know, Denver's got the heart of a champ. Gordon has had an unbelievable series. Unbelievable playoff.
Murray ain't playing well. Where's he been?
Not great.
Not the way he
but that's competition.
Yeah.
If you look at, you know who he's going against in the MVP, that takes something out of your legs, and trying to guard him certain number of minutes throughout the game. So I like OKC to get through that series against Denver.
Warriors, Steph's out again tonight. They're down 2-1. They lose without Curry tonight. I don't see how they can win without Curry.
Well, their thing is, too, and even if he was to come back, Steph Curry's never had a hamstring injury. And someone that's been involved in hamstring injuries and seen guys with hamstring injuries, that hamstring is not anything to play with.
Yeah.
Like in game number 7 against Houston, they have this they have a system that monitors, how far and the intensity of the players, how far they run. Steph Curry ran 2 miles in game number 7. Then he pops his hamstring after only 2 days, because they had to win in Houston in 7, then go to Minneapolis, play 2 days later. And typically that's a hydration or stretching issue. And he's never had a hamstring before. So to think that he can come back within 2 weeks and never had a hamstring pull before
and be fine
and run as much as he runs.
Yeah, because that dude never stops running.
It'd be different if he was a big guy.
Correct.
If he was Joel Embiid, I'd be like, well, Joel Embiid, should I give him a hamstring with all them other injuries?
Dude, he plays 3 games a year. Let's not talk about Joel
But
Embiid.
if he had a hamstring.
Let's talk about somebody in the NBA that plays.
And he was going straight down the middle of the court, and he could limit some of the quick, twitchy stuff, So I believe that Minnesota goes through, not only because they're a better team, because I don't think we're going to see Steph Curry the rest of the series.
And then you love Oklahoma City to beat Minnesota.
I mean,
and Oklahoma City to play the Celtics in the finals. You think Minnesota got shot to beat Oklahoma City, the Thunder?
Man, the kid.
Yeah, he is nasty.
Okay.
He is.
Anthony Edwards.
He is nasty.
And he's not playing great, but game number 3, he was spectacular.
He's a problem, bro.
I'm going with Minnesota to represent the West.
Really?
Yes.
Minnesota and the Celtics.
Yes.
Minnesota got any chance to make that a really good series with the Celtics?
Yes. Celtics win 4-2.
Okay.
Over Minnesota.
All right. I'm pulling for the Knicks. I'm pulling for the Knicks.
That's my unprofessional call.
Unprofessional call. Don't the NBA guys don't get mad.
And get in my comments and tell me.
Tell me how bad. We do want your feedback. We got plenty of good comments coming up. But I did realize, I watched yesterday, I had to turn the sound down. ESPN and their coverage of the NBA is hard to watch.
Subpar,
or it's just not
compared to TNT.
TNT, and I understand where it's not fair. And they even had Jalen last night because Shat wasn't there, and I'm still like, dude, it don't matter.
Jalen's good.
Jalen's the stud.
TNT has the best pregame show,
dude,
and halftime coverage.
Like, I just turn
in
it on.
all the sports.
Dude, it's a 40-point game, and I'm like, dude, I want to hear what they have to say at halftime.
I mean, they're going to say something professional. They're also going to say something
crazy and stupid.
And they're going to have some fun.
And they do, bro.
Charles is like, I make too much money. They can't fire me.
That's right.
They can't tell me what
whatever
to
you
do.
want. I'll talk as much shit as I want about anybody.
Yeah.
Now he's talking shit to Perkins, and they're challenging you. That shit, it's just funny, bro. I can't wait till hopefully bring some of that to ESPN. All right, comments. BMW 128 Racer. LeBron flops and whines better than Jordan.
Yeah. I mean, LeBron's a flopper.
Yeah, when they flopping from Jordan.
I mean, they got too many clips of him and videos, and then sometimes he's covering his eyes, and then he's really looking.
Some of it's really bad, dude. He acting like he lost both of his legs and broke 12 ribs. So
but he's in Hollywood, though. He's getting ready for
his second career.
Yes.
He probably will.
Hollywood.
At MAAL 7432. There's nothing LeBron James does better than MJ. You sure about that? Question mark. Let's see. Better three-point shooter, better playmaker, better rebounder, better transition player, more versatile.
Wait, no. Wait,
I'm just reading his stuff.
Okay,
go ahead. He's got a lot here. He's got more versatile. Yeah, more versatile defender, better post defender. What's your comment to Mall 7432?
Okay.
If
I'm on a fast break,
yeah,
and I have the ability to throw the ball to my left or to my right, Jordan being on my right, LeBron being on my left, both of those are fantastic. But to think LeBron is better in the air than Air Jordan?
Correct. Okay.
Like, that's the reason why they got the logo, man.
Because he's flying through the air.
Yes.
How about this defensive deal where he thinks LeBron's a better defender?
There is no part of defending that he is better at than MJ. No part.
Mm-hmm.
No part. Maybe he said because he's 6'9", he can guard a little bit bigger defender.
Post defender.
Yeah. But
I'll throw you that.
That's marginal. It's not like he's going to block their shot.
Correct.
Like, and it's not. It's not as if LeBron is a poor defender. But let's just. If he's guarding a point guard, who you want guarding him? MJ. If he's guarding a two guard, who you want guarding him? MJ. If he's guarding a three, who you want guarding him? MJ.
All right, Kid 3205 MVP Curry greater than LeBalco. He won on super teams in a weakest ass East Conference for a decade.
Yes, he's saying Steph over LeBron.
100%.
The East was weak, and that's why LeBron was able to run up all those impressive numbers. LeBron dominated the East.
Yeah, he did,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Correct.
And then he had to run into the super team, which they had to go out to get.
Well, he's saying he won on super. What super team? Because he had Kyrie.
Well, no super team in Cleveland.
That's what I'm saying. What super team was he on? Bosh and Wade?
Man, well, they won two there, but then he tried to take the conversation to Cleveland.
Team?
At the time, they supposedly they won two championships.
It wasn't like that super teams they started creating after that.
Yes.
All right, Dozier 717, my man CC coming through with the solid podcast. Keep them coming, brother.
Thank you, dog.
Todd Goza 3522. Bron been to 9 finals in a row, won 4. That shit hard to show some respect, fellas. We were showing
we got plenty of respect.
We got plenty of respect for him.
Ain't no disrespect.
Just Michael Jordan's Michael Jordan. That's all.
Listen, every building has a ceiling. All right? When we talk about the NBA, the ceiling is Michael Jordan. It's not like we're trying to discredit someone when you're in the conversation. Like, the ceiling has not changed. If LeBron had changed the ceiling in my world, had changed the game of basketball in my world, I would give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he hadn't.
Correct.
The closest thing to Michael Jordan, to me, was Kobe Bryant. I don't think people give Kobe enough credit.
Correct. I would agree with that. Same deal. Who you want covering somebody, who you want finishing. Mickey Raps. Mm-hmm. Listen, this is the one thing LeBron is better than Jordan at.
Okay.
Then he spaced like 800 times down and put losing.
Oh, come on.
You're a fool, bro. Jerry,
he got me.
Jerry McKinney, 802. He's a better passer and rebounder than MJ ever has been.
Okay, no problem. I'll give you that.
Okay.
No problem.
Jerry, write that down.
No, listen.
Uh-oh.
LeBron is one of the greatest playmakers ever. Mm-hmm. He's one of the most unselfish players. He has that gene in him. Mm-hmm. He's more like Magic Johnson than Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. And that speaks to his greatness. That's not a deficit in everything.
Correct.
I give him that. Okay, he's 6'9". He's a good rebounder. Yes, absolutely.
Good passer.
Absolutely, yes. Great passer,
okay.
Great rebounder, yes.
All right. Good job, Jerry.
Yes.
James Bond. I am 2QQ. I actually think Curry's 4 rings are more impressive going to different teams and manipulating the salary cap to join superstars to win 4 rings is not impressive. Yes,
but Curry wouldn't have
the 4 rings,
rings if he didn't get Kevin Durant,
correct,
which in turn they manipulated the salary cap to be able to get KD.
And then Carlos Geddes responded back, oh, yeah, they were all talking to each other. Okay, to Oxen Hill 3 Curry. Curry still won 2 chips without KD.
Yes, that's significant.
Correct, that is.
But LeBron's got 4.
Yeah, he does. And I don't know they were super teams, but I got you. James Williams, 41-42. This why Nick Wright kicked him off the show for speaking the truth. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. All right. I can't, All right. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Melton Bell, 3204. Michael Jordan did not win a championship without Scottie Pippen. Please do your research. Stop listening to all this fake sports. You notice they never mention Scottie Pippen, but Jordan only won championships with Scottie Pippen.
No. I know Scottie Pippen was on the team. Scottie Pippen hadn't been part of the conversation.
We're talking about Jordan and Bron. Yeah.
Yeah. LeBron's always played with at least one great player. At least. Miami.
Well, most people that win championships play with somebody else great other than themselves.
He had Bosh, he had D. Wade, and he had Ray Allen. Mm-hmm. Don't forget Ray Allen.
Yeah.
All right? In Cleveland, Kyrie, Kevin Love. All right? Now, were those teams as good as the Miami teams? No, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. And then in the bubble with the Lakers, he had AD. Who's a great player.
Correct.
So he has had someone along the way, just like Michael Jordan, didn't get the same results as Michael Jordan, but yes.
All right. Martina, 2201. Chris, get your facts correct, bro. Johnny Boy only beat Alabama once. LOL.
Okay, no problem.
Right. Concede that. If that's the case, we're going to roll with that. Even though we don't, it's like Brady saying he couldn't talk about it. We got to give you that. We can't check it right now. He probably did.
That's my producer's fault.
That is definitely Andrew's fault. No doubt about it. It's Andrew's fault.
Eat that, Andrew.
He is in a probation appointment.
Yeah.
All right, Cal's Sports. Chris is a master communicator. I think he explained the Shedeur situation without bias and also with an NFL mindset. Chris's thoughts on the Shedeur situation was the best take on it that I heard as of yet. Thanks. I'm a big fan of y'all guys' show.
Right.
Thank you, bro.
Shedeur shouldn't be upset. Dion shouldn't be upset. They know the process now better than they knew 2 weeks ago, and they realize the process won out over their process, and I can guarantee you if they could get a redo, they would not do the same thing over again. I can guarantee you that. And as you can see, with Shedeur being in Cleveland now, you can see that people really, really like him.
Yeah.
Like, people really, really like him.
Because he's a likable dude.
Yes.
100%.
But that interview process, they did not have the right information, and they misplayed their hand. I play a lot of pokers, all right? I don't bluff an awful lot. But when I do, I promote my bluff to make them think that I bluff more. Mm-hmm. When you got the cards.
Correct.
Which none of the quarterbacks in this draft had the cards like Caleb Williams had last year. Mm-hmm. Everyone knew it was clear. We didn't know 3 months ago that Cam Ward and Shedeur, we thought Shedeur was the number 1 ranked quarterback. That's what Mel Kiper had said. Mm-hmm. But in this process, Cam Ward went above him. Mm-hmm. Because people continually saw the tape and they like the person and they love his story more so. So they thought that they had 4 aces. They didn't.
And everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
And I can promise you that watching from the outside, a kid's going to get a shot to start. I wouldn't send Andrew to the Giants because I think the coach sucks. I think the organization sucks, and I think they're going nowhere fast. That's what I believe, and I think that when you watch all this shit iron out, he does seem to be really likable. People would like to have him around.
Yes,
he can throw the football around, and also, dude, I'm telling you, my thing is Meaike, because the dude ain't wrong a lot. He's just not. So I'm like, I don't know.
So Cleveland, on paper, got the best quarterback in the draft, best of Meaike. I do believe they have a tremendous prospect, and now they got him at such a value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't pay him what they would have paid him, and somebody drafted him in the first round.
It's just how is he able as a backup to manage the PR and be in that quarterback room, realizing I got veterans in here and I got a guy that was drafted 2 rounds ahead of me.
Yep.
And you got to pay some respect to that.
Correct, 100%. All right, N. Walker. I'm so fortunate enough to remember when John Elway told the Baltimore Colts, if you draft me, I'll play baseball. Then this dude, Buggy Biker, responded. His name's John Elway was the clear-cut first pick. He was best player in a ridiculously stacked draft. He was a generational talent. Everyone knew it. He was also a highly sought-after baseball player, which is true. Yeah. And he would have been happy playing baseball, which I do believe is true. That's leverage. Shedeur had none of that, and the draft made that obvious.
John Elway was the first quarterback in the NFL that we thought looked like John Wayne. He was a little bow-legged. A gunslinger. I mean, bro, he played I think the game was at Ohio State. He scrambled to his left and threw the ball all the way across the field to the right. Something you never teach someone. John Elway is a freakish athlete. I'm talking about freakish. I mean, freak.
And one of the best of all time.
And that was one of the things that in the evaluation of Shedeur, he is not a great athlete. He does not have great change of direction. Does he have good pocket presence? Is he a decent athlete for a quarterback? Decent. But John Elway would still be in the top 10% of all quarterbacks. Randall Cunningham, Lamar, Michael Vick. John Elway is that kind of dude now. Mm-hmm. Now, he had multiple knee surgeries and things like that, but John Elway is a dude, man.
No doubt. Don't mess with Elway.
Yeah, don't mess with Elway.
David Barnes, 47-42. Is the white guy playing devil's advocate, or does he not understand football? 70% completion percentage and 39% of them were screen passes or throws under 5 yards. Also 1-9 versus teams ranked in the top 25. No, David, I did not say that they had a great football team. And actually what I would say is that I think he's a good quarterback. I think he throws the ball where he wants to. I think he has a good pocket presence. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that if you have studied what percentage were screen passes, congratulations. But I will tell you something about football. What I've been the most impressed about is, being down the sidelines in a lot of these games, you can give me Cris Carter in his prime, but if you give me a line and I look at my line and I look at their line and I know there ain't no chance my guys can keep them from getting anybody else in here, we got a problem.
Yes.
We got a problem. So, I think I was more impressed that he wasn't throwing the ball to the other team all the time, that he wasn't coughing it up all the time, and that he had a high percentage completion. So, that's it. And obviously you're talking to me because I am the white guy. I never had people call me, I think it's the only way they can differentiate. You could just say Hall of Famer instead of black guy and white guy, but we are black and white.
No, it's cool.
So, it's all good.
It's cool. There's several things about Shedeur that he does at an elite level.
Yeah.
Number one, being able to manage the lack of talent that was around him on the offensive line, and be able to manage that. And
because it wasn't talented.
They were not talented. No. And never once in one of those press conferences, in one of those clippings, do you hear him complain. Mm-hmm. And his overall durability. Dude took some shots. Mm-hmm. All right? His ability to understand defenses and what they do and where the ball should go, it's at an elite level. He can throw the ball, nice tight spiral, but he doesn't have a big-time arm. All right? He does have good anticipation. So all these things he's been able to do in an elite level. That's how you're able to get the grade that Meaike gave him.
Correct.
That's why he was graded a first-round quarterback. So the skill level and certain skills and things that he was able to accomplish there, yes, I'm giving him absolute credit. I saw that. I saw the lack of talent on that offensive line.
And I think that was the thing, and again, you correct me if you've seen it, and I'm sure we'd see it a million times. It'd be viral as hell if it was Shedeur. but I don't remember anytime him getting hit, getting sacked, him looking up and showing up his offensive line during any game. I don't ever remember him going doing one of the, I've never remember seeing that. So sometimes you got to get to know the person.
Right.
You just got to get to know the dude. And, so I think that.
And then also,
I appreciate your feedback, Dave.
Yes, and from a positive standpoint, all 3 of his receivers got drafted in the NFL.
Correct. Oh, he had some dudes, but again, you still need an offensive line.
Absolutely,
got to get the ball to him.
Yes.
So you guess what? A lot of times when there's 3 dudes coming at you that are legitimate defensive line guys, they're going to play in the NFL. I dunk the ball off and throw a screen pass too. I got to get rid of the ball quick.
So even though he grew up in a 30,000-foot square house, the dude's a tough kid.
No doubt about it.
And that's hard to be.
He's been not 100%. That's a lot harder to be.
That's hard to be.
Than growing up the way a lot of us grew up. No doubt about it. I give him credit for that. Jason Cologne, 96. That Shark Tank in the background is awesome. Thank you, Jason.
No, it's dope.
I appreciate it. It is dope. Look at the helmet. You see the helmet? Diver's helmet over here?
Oh, yeah. That's
where the eel's supposed to be.
This morning, we had a shark try to jump out.
Yo, we did.
And the only reason why he's trying to jump out, because no real shark would try to jump out of this tank, put the damn ocean's right there.
He's trying to get in there, bro. He ain't going to make it, though. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I smell fish.
Polo Regal, last comment. It was collusion, just like Kaepernick. Cut it out. I don't know. I don't know about that. That's an analogy, but what do you think?
What? That's stupidity.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Come on, man.
You ain't even going to respond to that.
Well, this is what I'll
ain't even
say,
dignify
man.
that.
If there was any type of collusion, I would tell you.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I know it's impossible to collude because the New York Football Giants, guess what that owner would do right now? Man, he would give his pinky, all right, to have a winning quarterback.
He might give his whole hand. They had won.
Guess what the head coach would do? Guess what the general manager would do to save their job?
The head coach should give his pinky. He'd eat less. If he gave his pinky, he'd stop eating so much.
Well, maybe
he'd be more focused.
Like
maybe
that,
a couple of his thumbs.
Yeah. But like what they would do to have a winning season and get a contract extension, I'm getting ready to give away a kid. Hey, you guys go ahead and be successful. Hey, correct. Philadelphia, you guys keep pounding me. Yeah. Hey, Washington, you just got a quarterback.
Yeah, Cleveland, take him.
So excited.
Correct.
I got to face Dak Prescott every single year. I don't have a quarterback. You think I'm getting ready to collude with someone? Stop.
That's a good way to end it. Stop. Cris Carter, Shawn Meaike. Hey, if you like it, please like, subscribe, share. We appreciate y'all's support. We'll talk to you next week.